The movie opens in the quiet town of Derry during a heavy rainstorm, where a young boy named Bill is making a paper toy for his little brother. He carefully hands the boat to Georgie, who is incredibly excited to take it outside. As the rain continues to flood the streets, the little boy runs out alone to play with his new toy. The paper boat glides quickly along the curb, and Georgie chases it with a big smile. Suddenly, the boat slips away, and it falls straight into a dark storm drain. Georgie kneels down to look for it, but he freezes when he sees something staring back at him. Two yellow eyes glow in the shadows, and a strange clown introduces himself as Pennywise. The clown speaks in a friendly voice, trying to convince the boy to reach inside. Georgie hesitates for a second, but he eventually reaches out to grab his boat. With a sudden snap, the clown opens his mouth and bites off the boy's arm. Georgie screams in agony, trying to crawl away on the wet asphalt. Before he can escape, the monster reaches out and drags him into the dark sewer. The street goes quiet again, and only the pouring rain remains. 8 months pass, and we see a boy named Mike working on a local farm. His grandfather is very strict, and he forces the teenager to slaughter a sheep with a nail gun. The boy hesitates because he does not want to do it, but the old man tells him that the world is a dangerous place. Meanwhile, the school year is finally ending, and a group of friends is excited to start their summer break. Bill, Richie, Eddie, and Stan are known as the Losers Club, and they're always sticking together. As they walk out of the school, they run into a dangerous bully named Henry Bowers. The bully starts mocking them immediately, but Bill stands up for his friends and tells him off. Henry gets extremely angry, but he stops when he spots his own father watching from a police car. He spits on his hand and rubs it on Bill's face, promising that he will see them again soon. Elsewhere in the school, a young girl named Beverly is hiding in the bathroom, where she tries to find some quiet. A group of mean girls finds her, and they throw a bag of dirty water over her stall. Beverly manages to block the water with her book, showing that she does not care about their bullying. On her way out of the building, she meets a new student named Ben. He's a shy boy who gets bullied for his weight, but Beverly is very kind to him and signs his yearbook. Back at home, Bill is working on a map of the town's sewer system. He still believes that his little brother might be alive, but his father gets angry and tells him to face reality. Later that day, Mike goes to a local butcher shop where he needs to deliver some meat. While he is in the alley, he hears terrifying screams coming from behind a heavy metal door. The door opens slightly, and Mike sees a group of burning hands reaching out for him. Behind them, the creepy clown is watching him with a disturbing smile. Mike is absolutely terrified, but he is saved when the bully's car speeds down the alley. He runs away as fast as he can, hoping to escape the nightmare. At the local synagogue, Stan is trying to study for his upcoming bar mitzvah. He keeps looking at a creepy painting on the wall, which shows a woman with a twisted face. When the painting falls, Stan picks it up and realizes the woman is missing from the canvas. He slowly turns around, and the terrifying woman is standing right behind him with sharp teeth. Stan screams and runs out of the room, leaving his books behind. Meanwhile, Ben is spending his afternoon at the public library, where he wants to learn more about Derry. He is researching the dark history of the town, and he discovers that children have been disappearing for hundreds of years. He finds a creepy book with old drawings, and one page shows a picture of a giant clown. While he is reading, he hears strange noises coming from the dark basement. Ben goes down to investigate, and he sees a headless boy walking toward him. Suddenly, the clown appears out of nowhere, and Ben runs out of the library in absolute terror. On his way home, the bully Henry and his gang corner him on a bridge. They hold him down, and Henry pulls out a knife to carve his name into Ben's stomach. An elderly couple drives past the bridge, but they choose to ignore the attack and keep driving. A red balloon floats by in the background, showing that the monster is watching the cruelty. Ben manages to kick Henry in the groin, and he tumbles down the grassy hill into the woods. The bullies chase after him, but Ben manages to hide in the thick bushes. At the same time, Bill and his friends are searching the marshy waters near the woods. They are looking for clues about Georgie, but they are shocked when a bloody Ben stumbles out of the trees. The boys quickly grab the injured teenager, and they decide to help him get to safety. Meanwhile, one of the bullies, Patrick, goes into the sewers alone to look for Ben. Patrick walks deeper into the dark tunnels, and he hears the creepy voices of children calling his name. He sees the ghosts of dead kids, and he panics as he tries to find an exit. The clown appears in the darkness, and he devours the bully before he can scream. Back on the surface, the kids take Ben to the local pharmacy to buy medical supplies. They realize they do not have enough money, but Beverly suddenly appears and decides to help them. She flirts with the creepy pharmacist to distract him, which allows the boys to steal the bandages. The kids meet up outside, and Beverly joins their group as they tend to Ben's wounds. She quickly becomes a close friend, and Ben feels his crush on her growing even stronger. When Beverly returns to her house, her abusive father behaves in a highly inappropriate way. She runs into the bathroom and locks the door, sobbing as she tries to find some comfort. She grabs a pair of scissors, and she cuts her hair short to reclaim her identity. The next day, the entire group decides to go to the local quarry to have some fun. They stand on the edge of a high cliff, but everyone is too afraid to jump into the water first. Beverly suddenly runs past them as she leaps into the lake with a joyful shout. The boys quickly follow her, and they spend the afternoon swimming and laughing together. While they are drying off, Ben shares the dark secrets he found at the library. On his way home, Eddie is walking past an abandoned house on Neibolt Street. A rotting man covered in diseases suddenly jumps out, and he chases Eddie through the overgrown yard. Eddie falls and panics, but he manages to scramble under a wooden fence. He looks back and sees the clown holding a bunch of balloons, offering to make him float. At her house, Beverly is looking at a sweet postcard with a poem on it. She thinks the poem is from Bill, but it was actually written by Ben. Suddenly, she hears voices calling her from the bathroom sink. She leans closer to investigate, and a giant clump of hair shoots out and wraps around her face. A massive fountain of blood explodes from the drain, covering the entire bathroom in red. Beverly screams in horror, and she runs to find her father. When he walks into the bathroom, he does not see any of the blood on the walls. He only gets angry about her short hair, which makes Beverly realize that adults cannot see the monster. Meanwhile, Bill is walking through his quiet house when he sees a small figure in a yellow raincoat. He follows the figure into his flooded basement, where he finds the ghost of his little brother. Georgie tells him that they will all float down there, and his voice quickly turns into a demonic growl. The clown rises from the water, and Bill barely escapes with his life. The next day, the group is riding their bikes when they spot Mike's bicycle near the creek. They run over and see Henry and his gang attacking Mike, who is struggling to defend himself. Beverly throws a rock at Henry's head, and this ignites a massive stone fight between the two groups. The losers fight back bravely, and they manage to knock the bullies to the ground. After saving Mike, the kids sit down and talk about the strange things they have seen. They realize they are all being hunted by the same evil entity, which uses their deepest fears against them. They decide to call the monster it, and they promise to work together to destroy it. They gather in Bill's garage, where they look at a map of the sewer lines. They discover that all the sewers lead directly to the abandoned house on Neibolt Street, which serves as the monster's home. Suddenly, the slide projector turns on by itself, and it starts showing family photos of Bill's family. The mother's face slowly morphs into the creepy clown, and the kids scream in terror. The projector flips faster, and a giant version of Pennywise crawls out of the screen. The kids kick the projector over, and they manage to escape the garage just in time. Bill decides that they must go to the Neibolt house, where they can stop the monster once and for all. Richie and Eddie agree to go with him, while the others wait outside to keep watch. Inside the dark house, the boys quickly get separated, and they are forced to face terrifying illusions alone. Richie finds himself in a room filled with creepy clown dolls, and he spots a coffin with his own name on it. When he opens it, he finds a rotting version of his own body. The real clown jumps out of the coffin, and Richie screams as he runs for his life. In another room, Eddie falls through the rotten floorboards, and he breaks his arm in the crash. The clown corners the injured boy, and he prepares to eat him alive. Bill and Richie try to reach him, but they're blocked by a series of doors with scary tricks behind them. They finally burst into the kitchen, and they find the monster towering over their friend. Beverly rushes in with a metal spear, and she drives it straight through the clown's head. The monster screams in pain, and it retreats down a deep well in the basement. After the attack, Eddie's overprotective mother arrives and takes her injured son away. She forbids him from seeing the other kids, which causes a major argument among the friends. Richie blames Bill's obsession with almost getting them killed, and the group decides to split up. Weeks pass, and the kids try to live normal lives during the hot summer. Eddie goes to the pharmacy, where he is mocked by the local bully girls. Henry is playing with his father's gun, but his abusive dad humiliates him in front of his friends. Later that day, Henry finds a red balloon on his mailbox, and a sharp knife is attached to the string. He goes inside and sees a strange children's show on television, where the characters are chanting for him to commit murder. Under the monster's influence, Henry stabs his sleeping father in the neck, and he watches him bleed out on the floor. Meanwhile, Beverly is attacked by her abusive father in their house, and she struggles to break free. She defends herself with a toilet lid, knocking him dead before the clown abducts her. Bill finds Beverly's empty home, and he sees a message written in blood on the wall. He realizes the monster has taken her, and he gathers the group to rescue their friend. Eddie stands up to his mother and leaves the house, joining the others as they head back to the Nebold place. They climb down the well, but Mike is attacked by a crazed Henry. Henry tries to shoot them with a nail gun, but Mike fights back with all his strength. He manages to push the bully down the deep well, sending him falling into the darkness. Below them, Stan is separated and attacked by the creepy woman from the painting. The others hear his screams, and they arrive just in time to drive the creature away. They find a monster's lair, which is a massive cavern filled with floating bodies of missing children. Beverly is floating in the air, and her eyes are completely white. Ben kisses her to break the spell, and she gasps as she wakes up from a trance. Suddenly, a small boy in a yellow raincoat walks out of the shadows, and he looks exactly like Bill's lost brother. It looks like Georgie, and he begs Bill to take him home. Bill hugs him with tears in his eyes, but he knows his real brother is gone forever. He shoots the double in the head with a bolt gun, and the body transforms back into the raging clown. The monster attacks them with immense fury, but the kids refuse to be afraid anymore. They strike the clown repeatedly with pipes and rocks, and they realize their lack of fear is making the monster weak. Pennywise starts to decay, and he crawls backward down the deep well. Bill finds his brother's yellow raincoat in the dirt, and he breaks down in tears as his friends hold him. The nightmare is finally over, and the town is safe for now. A month later, the kids gather in a sunny field, where they decide to make a serious blood oath. They promise that if the monster ever returns, they will come back to Derry to fight it again. They hold hands as friends, and they slowly say their goodbyes. 2017 movie recap ends with Beverly telling Bill she is moving away, and finally, they share a sweet kiss before she departs.